their living expenses taken care of. But as we make this presentation every day, something is also very clear. People want change, and they talk about it a lot. People want changes in their finances, they talk about it a lot. You see, talk is cheap. The distinguishing factor is action. It is really impossible to change your circumstances and reality with the level of thinking, with the level of activity, with the level of engagement, with the level of commitment at which that problem was created. You need something a bit higher. And I was listening to this evening. I just felt it's something I could share. Maybe it will hit you from different points just to take something from it. And then we'll go straight into the presentation. And I hope you take something out of this presentation that will impact your level of engagement with the information that you hear. But for some of us who are engaging with this information in the best way possible and with the level of commitment that we're putting into it, I can tell you it is creating results, significantly tangible results. And so permit me once again, please, to play a bit of this video for you. I wouldn't play it to the end, probably do 5 minutes of it. But I crave your indulgence to pay very close attention and see whether there's something that you can pick out of this short information that could help you with the information that you will receive with this presentation. Please, guys, I would appreciate if the audio is good from your end, that you give me some thumbs up. Let me activate the audio once again. Sorry about that. Okay.
Interested in this work, and you like telling people you do it. It make you feel good. But you're not 120 though. Some of you are committed, but just like your side hustle. I'm just being real, y'all. I was fully committed. I left everything and started doing it. And because I was fully committed, the world responded to that commitment. But you just interested. You're not really committed to it. You're not putting in 50, 60 hours. When my wife got diagnosed with MS, I never quit doing the work because I wasn't doing it for people. I was doing it for the kid that I was doing it for. So even with MS, she had to quit her job. I had to take it to another level. Some of y'all are negotiating, not because of the company. You negotiate because you're not the best at what you do. And I need y'all to go back and be the best at what you do. And then I need y'all to come together as the best and then take this thing to the next level. And there's some of you, you know what you want. You know what you want, but you are not personally willing to do the work it takes to get it. What you're trying to do is do what you've done on this level and get the next level. You're trying to do exactly what you're doing on this level. You're like, I'm getting up every day. I'm putting in 2.5. I'm putting in 3, and I'm not getting the opportunity. The opportunity might require 3.5. I'm lifting weights. I'm eating right, and I'm not getting the opportunity. It might require getting up and working out 3.5. It might require you saying no to your friends. It might require you changing your diet. It might require you moving to another city. Whatever it takes, you got to be willing to do it. And you keep saying you're not there because of something else, because it's easier to blame somebody else. Because now you don't got to do no work when you blame somebody else. Guess who got to do the work? They got to do the work. But guess who got the power? They got the power. How many of y'all tired of other people having the power? Let me see your hand. You want the power. Just being real, hands down. Hands down. Think about what I just said. How many of you want the power? Let me see your hands. Good. Write down next to your crazy idea some of the things that you know you do. All right, now I'm gonna tell you the story. I got to get out of here. And the story is about, you guys have probably heard about this before. It was a young man who, he wanted to make a lot of money, and so he went to this guru, right? He told the guru, I want to be on the same level you on. And so the guru said, if you want to be on the same level I'm on, I'll meet you tomorrow at the beach at 4 a.m. He liked the beach. I said, I want to make money. I don't want to swim. So the young man got there at 4 a.m. He all ready to rock and roll, got on a suit, he could have wore shorts. Old man grabs his hand and said, how bad do you want to be successful? He said, real bad. He said, walk on out in the water. So he walks out into the water. Watch this. When he walks out into the water, it goes waist deep. So he's like, this guy crazy. Adrian, he's like, I want to make money. He got me out here swimming. I didn't ask to be a lifeguard. I want to make money. He got me in. So he said, come on, walked out a little further. Then he had it right around this area, the shoulder area. So this old man crazy. He making money, but he crazy. He said, come out a little farther. Came out a little farther. Right at his mouth. My man, like, I'm about to go back in here. This guy is mine. So the old man said, I thought you said you wanted to be successful. He said, I do. He said, walk a little further. He came, dropped his head in, held him down, holding down. My man getting scratching, holding him down. He had him held down. Just before my man was about to pass out, he raised him up. He said, I got a question for you. Somebody answer the question for me. He said, when you were underwater, what did you want to do? I said, I wanted to breathe. He told the guy, he said, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. I got asthma here today, but if you ever had an asthma attack before, you short of breath, the only thing you're trying to do is get some air. You don't care about no basketball game. You don't care what's on TV. You don't care about nobody calling you. You don't care about a party. The only thing you care about when you're trying to breathe is to get some fresh air. That's it. And when you get to the point where all you want to do is be successful as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And I'm here to tell you, number one, that most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. You don't want it badder than you want to party. You don't want it as much as you want to be cool. Most of you don't want success as much as you want to sleep. Beyonce said once she was on the set doing her thing, 3 days had gone by. She forgot she didn't eat because she was engaged. I'll never forget when 50 Cent was doing his movie. I did a little research on 50, and 50 said that when he wasn't doing the movie, he was doing the soundtrack. And they said, when do you sleep, 50? Sleep, he said, sleep. Sleep is for those people who are broke. I don't sleep. He said, I got an opportunity to make a dream become a reality. Most of you won't be successful because when you're studying and you get tired, you quit.
All right. I'm not particularly sure why I felt to share that. Listening to it again, one thing is really clear. What you do with this information has nothing to do with this information. It has everything to do with your mindset and the outcome you want in your life. That is what will determine what you do with the information. That is what will determine whether you want to go think about it. That is what will determine whether you do your registration in the next 20 minutes after this presentation, fund account, and participate in the tomorrow's trading. Each and every one of us is chased by different things. The bigger what you're running away from is, probably that will determine how much you will run. It's all in your mind. Whether you're afraid, whether you believe, personal responsibility. But you see, this thing called success is an inside-out thing. So I'm just going to give a generic information of what is going on. But how you engage with this information is all up to you. So a while ago, group of people came together and said, this old industry of financial markets, you can innovate it. Most times, what innovation does is it provides opportunity for people who have not had opportunity with that kind of a thing, right? So you look at social media, it was exclusive for some people who own the big media companies. But then came along the Instagrams, along the YouTubes, came along the Facebooks. And all of a sudden, insignificant people became media moguls. That's called innovation. But when these things happen with money, people have a lot of resistance. And it's coming from the mindset. Why? We've all been schooled and money is hard to come by. So people feel that if you don't struggle too much, any money you make is not it's not the right money, right? So there's this emotional burden attached with being wealthy, making money that does not concern every other thing, right? But I want to tell you that those kind of innovation that have happened in other sectors today, I'm going to walk you through in the next 30 minutes how it has happened in the financial market. And as we speak, the part of the financial market that has to do with forex trading is on full steam. And the one that has to do with cryptocurrency is also about to get on stream. So, but what happened? How did this innovation happen, right? These guys picked a few things that have been pain points for the larger percentage of people to participate in this multi-trillion dollar market and be profitable. So first, they removed the burden of education, they removed the burden of technology. So what did they do with technology? They provided opportunity for people to have access to institutional grade AI and trading team to deliver results for retail traders. They provided a platform that makes it possible that hundreds of thousands of people can copy these trades without friction. We're talking about high-speed computing power that can put the same trade for 900,000 people simultaneously. Ladies and gentlemen, that's an innovation that your desktop or your laptop cannot deliver. And of course, to put an icing on the cake, they gave us access to liquidity. I want you to pay close attention to this last one. Those who don't have access to money have concluded that money is in short in this world. Fact of the matter, please, it's a lie. There is money in abundance. The only challenge is most people don't have the capacity or the resources or the relationship to access those money. It doesn't mean that money does not exist, right? So you go to the bank, you want to get ₦1,000,000, for example, or $1,000. The process is so difficult that you will think that, sure, they don't want to give me this money. And then some guy shows up, his name is Dangote, he needs $20 billion to build refinery. That money shows up and the refinery stands. A testament to the fact that money is available. You see, it's a mindset thing. So you have to believe that that is possible. And so what's the difference here? This money is not that accessible to the average person. And so TAG launched a trading platform regulated in South Africa and Mauritius, right? This is a regulated broker, and said, let us connect liquidity providers directly to our customers. Let's, for the first time in the history of this industry, not give people paper money like funded accounts or prop firms. Those are all glorified demos. Let's bring real money and connect it with these people. And if we connect them with this real money, most of them don't even understand the market. Most of them cannot trade. Let us also connect them with an institutional grade AI. Please, most of you here, if I say this, people laugh. I don't think I've tried using any of the AIs more than 3 or 4. But you see the AI that pays money, I have no apologies. I'm using it with the aggression that you cannot imagine. If you ever believe that you want a solution to a problem, you type it into ChatGPT. You want to design a flyer, you go to town, or just name them, Germany, all of them. Look at the level of belief people point to it. What I'm about to do to you is to show you the AI that I have poured some level of belief, and it pays me money every day. No apologies. It's just that simple. And it's making sense because I have access to liquidity. You see, amplify your capital 12 times. Simple grammar. You deposit $1,000, you get 12,000 to go into the market with. And if you make a profit up to $10 in the next 2 minutes, it's available for you to withdraw. That is the way to let you know in your own belief that this capital is real. It's not prop, no stage two, no stupid conditions now. The liquidity is real. Plug in, plug out, no question. And now in the next 6 days, you have an opportunity to get your account amplified capital 24x. So when we talk about a sense of urgency, it's not because outcome is dependent on you participating. No, 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 no. If you're here, you're new, you don't have an active account, we made profit today. It's not dependent on you. It's dependent on an AI and a capital oxygen. If somebody says in the next 6 days, if you make a commitment of 1, I will give you a commitment of 24 times 1. What will you do with that information? You want to let the 6 days pass and then you go back to 12x? That's a question. Now, there's an interesting condition to this money. Condition is you only have a maximum drawdown of 10% for the 12x account. And then, of course, for the 24x, you have 5%. So let's do the example. If you're writing right, and the numbers jumps out and you can see it, right? So I put $1,000, I get, and they say the drawdown is 10%. So that's $1,200. If I qualify for the promotion within the period, I get a 24x. So that's 20,000. And 5% of that is 1,200. Remember that your deposit is 1,000. So you already have extra $200. Please, it's important you understand why that 200. Tag Market does not spend one kobo on marketing. So that their marketing budget is with them. So they rather use it to support somebody who has already made a commitment on their platform rather than go chase advert and people will click and never do anything. That's why you have extra 200 to support your own deposit. And then, of course, the 200 also acts as a buffer. Your deposit of $1,000 and the liquidity provider's money, which cannot be lost, but can only be leveraged to show up in the market, right? These simple things I've explained in the last 4 minutes is essentially the bedrock of innovation that has supported hundreds of thousands of people, even those with grossly zero idea about trading. And if you're here, you don't know jack about trading, you can fund an account this night and participate in being profitable. That is what innovation has done, and that is what this platform is bringing. So now we have capital. So this AI that we're talking about, why do we trust it? Honestly, we only trust it because of data. And that data you can find in my FX book. Search for Sonic AI. So this is the industry that if you say you have a trading system that works in the Forex market, people expect you to connect it here. So we know it's transparent and what you're telling us is true. So Sonic, 15 years old, the guys who are running the system, plus their technology and everything, right? But they started publishing their reports here publicly about 18 months, 19 months ago. That's November of 2024 up to date. Now, I want to show you a few numbers that makes this make sense. So if you look at the enlargement I've done, you will see the monthly output of this AI, 1.16% on the average for the last 19 months. Now, when a retail investor or a retail trader hears 1.1%, so they say, is that why we're here? And I'll tell you why you ask that question. It's because you're funding $1,000 account in a $7 trillion daily market. I mean, you're insignificant. And now you want to hammer with that money. And then you find out that you lose it perpetually. Because when you look at the chart, you see all your problems and you want to make $1 billion from there. Doesn't work. But the real people who are trading this market, responsible for these trillions that we see, they just show up and make 1%. They showed up in the market with $1 billion. Now that's $10 million. Now that's real money. Now, because we now have access to real money from liquidity providers, my $1,000 account is now 12,000. And so when I make 1% on it becomes 12% of my own actual capital. Then that's something significant. If I'm on 24x accounts, which you have 6 days to have access to if it's something you're interested in, 1% becomes 24%. That's $240. Now that makes sense. And that is why the institutional grade AI and the liquidity provision that we have makes this make sense for everybody. So the question now becomes, what do I put in to probably cancel my expenses? We call that financial independence. We're not saying you'll get rich overnight, please. That's not what this conversation is. But for most of us on this call, our financial independent number is not a huge amount. The amount of money that cancels your expenses without headache. It allows you to wake up like a normal human being, not with panic. It's a beautiful place to be, I can tell you. Now, why this can generate 1.1%? The real question is, if anything goes wrong, how bad can it go wrong? This is important. There is risk in this market, please. So everybody should get used to that. You trade, you profit, you trade, you lose. It's part of it. But you see, this AI have delivered result for 19 months. And the drawdown, ladies and gentlemen, the risk is less than 0.86%. I've been in this space for about 21 years. I can tell you for free, this number is crazy. That you can be consistent in delivering profit 19 months in a row while your exposure to risk is less than 1%. That's a premium system, right? So when we look at these numbers, I want to give you a little meaning as it relates to the drawdowns, right? Oh no, network is acting up on me. So guys, let's see whether this works. So this is a bit slow. So, but I'll run you through this, and I suggest you go and look at it on my FX book. The name of the AI is Sonic AI. So, what risk of ruin would have showed us if it had pulled up quickly here is what the number of profit and our risk factor mean. So, what it tells you is for this risk of ruin, which is losing the account, for it to happen, this AI has to lose 80 straight trades without making a single profit. If you are on 12x, if you're on 24x, it will lose 40%, 40 trades consecutively without making a profit. And then the account will go, right? Now, but what is the reality in these 19 months? The maximum consecutive losing trade is 2. So simple maths, 40 is far. And given the fact that the AI trades only 2 to 3 trades, some days 4, some days 1, some days it doesn't even trade. It means that 40 is still very far. For 19 months, he has not even done 3 losing consecutive trades. Maximum is 2. And where I stand, that is a premium risk. The risk reward is so good that we're going to be in this for a long haul, right? So this is the AI. This is how it works. You've already known why it is that we have um the joy of making this profit, because we have access to liquidity. So what I'll do very quickly is to share some numbers with you. And I'll do this with something a little high and something a little low, so we can all find out where we belong in those two extreme. So we're going to MT5. Like I said, most of the thing we're doing here is to show. So for this particular account, this is the profit today. This account is about 19,000 or so. 2 trades today. And these 2 trades gave 438. Now, if you look at this account, it's probably a month. First, it started with about $10,800, which was amplified 24 times. So it had 259,200. And then you could see a deduction called the PF deduction. Now, this deduction is because at the end of every week on Saturdays, 30% of what the AI generated, not your money, profit only, 30% is removed. Why? The AI people will get 5%, and 25% is shared among everybody in the trading system, the social trading system, right? So for you to participate in that sharing, you need to have contributed into the copy trading at least $250. And then you can participate in the sharing. And that sharing happens on Saturday. Sunday, you can already withdraw it and the money is with you, right? So you give some of us your privilege of saying happy Sunday, and we really mean it, right? Now, if you look at this account, you'll see that he has also done some withdrawal after 8 days, right? This account probably was funded with about 15 million first, and in 1 week was able to withdraw 1 million. All hands free, with seriously zero conception about what Forex trading is about. Now, if you continue, you will see some losses, some deductions, some withdrawal again. So this account particularly, for example, now I have done like 3 withdrawals in a space of 4 weeks. No questions asked. And all these trading results that you see are all AI generated. Completely. I want to go down again and share a bit with a smaller account. A $250 account to, like I said, something big, something small. So look at this. This account started trading in March 23rd. Was a $251. And between 23rd of March and today, 25th or so of April, that's about 2 months exactly, a $251 have generated $205. So let me interpret that. It means if you deposit money and compound it for 3 months to do 100%. I'm not making a projection in the future or promising you what I don't have control over. I'm telling you actual in the last 60 days. So what you make with the information is left to you. Now, the same today's trade that an account had 400, this account had $800. $8. What? Same trade. The difference is your level of commitment to what the AI will use to work for you. That's it. And I'm making this Nigeria. I understand we're now global, so this may not apply for everybody, but you get the idea. This account in the last 30 days, April 25th to May 25th, have generated $96. Let me tell you why this $96 is important for me personally. $96 by 70%, which is what the owner of the account will have access to be $67. By the exchange rate of today, that's 91,900. I'll tell you why this figure is important to me. This is 22,000, 21,000 higher than the minimum wage. That's a wage people pay transport to go to work every day to have access to. Some people had AI deliver that same result, even with their zero knowledge about what is going on in the last 30 days. I'm not talking people getting rich overnight. I'm talking about very simple but hugely significant impact in somebody's life. So if this is not for you, maybe 91,000 is too small. It means you can fund $1,000. And then we're talking about over 350,000 naira every month. That will cancel a whole lot of things for people. So we're not rolling off numbers just for numbers. We want people to connect what this can do for them specifically. It has nothing to do with the next person, because what is chasing all of us is completely different. This is what we're talking about. And somebody can set up an account this night and have this experience starting tomorrow morning. No questions asked. The more, don't take this the wrong way. The more ignorant people are about what they know about this financial market, the more they make money from this, because they don't think about it. They don't compare and contrast. They just act. For some of us, it's the thinking or the illusion of the knowledge that we have. Like I said, I've traded for 21 days, but I can tell you in the last couple of months, I look at no chart. But you see, I make profit every day. And I'll say this, for most people who are struggling to trade, you cannot trade when there is no food, because you will see food on the chart and it usually doesn't go well. So, but this is a situation that everybody can take advantage of, irrespective of level of knowledge, and become profitable in this market. Now, I want to share something before I run a bit on what we're expecting with the crypto AI. You see, for most of us, we are afraid of things like this because people used to ask, how long will it last? Are you sure? And all that. Please, if that is you, don't act. Don't bother asking the question. Why? Financial salvation is the same with spiritual salvation. It's per head. It's personal responsibility. You cannot outsource it to somebody else. If you are afraid to act to change your life, the problems that are coming really don't care. They will come anyway. The prices of things are not going to be looking at what you're thinking about. They will behave exactly the same way they're behaving. So each and every one of us have a responsibility to act in a way that gives us possibility to deal with the things that we're dealing with. Because if you don't do anything, the things will deal with you anyway. That's the way it's set up. Now, in the last month, we probably did 22% or so. But I'm going to do this with 10% just to give you context why this is important. And you may have somebody who's going to start university in the next 5 years, or something significant you want to do in the next 5 years. Some are doing 10 years, some are doing 7 years, but everybody can do what they want to do. Because once you have taken care of your expenses, you have become financially independent. The next thing is financial freedom, and that requires some work. That's also what this can do if you take certain accounts and compound. Let's say we compound for 60 months. This is what $250 will give you, 76,000. I like doing this example with small numbers. It's because this is money that I'm guaranteed that you will blow in the next couple of weeks. For the ladies, you buy one Peruvian human hair, 350,000 cannot serve you. Unless you don't want to buy the ones you want people to turn their heads about, right? And for the guys, everybody will agree with me. This money cannot sew two kaftan with the right embroidery. And both the hair and the kaftan, the day you buy them, they start going down. They're not going to go up for any reason whatsoever. So, but there's a possibility that they can trust an AI a little bit and see the potentials of it. This is why compound interest is important, guys. If I change my compounding period without changing the amount and changing the percentage, the money goes up by about 18,000. This is the power of compounding. They told us about compound interest back in school. Nobody told us it was a key to creating wealth, but I just showed you that. And somebody's free liquidity and an AI that you have access to at no cost can give you an opportunity to see whether this can become an experience for you. So that said, I want to tell you how all this comes together. So we have this incredible platform. So what this platform does is whoever invited you here can give you their link for you to make a registration. And when people hear about taking somebody's link to make a registration, some ideas goes through their head. Please, if you don't take the link, that person will make money tomorrow. It's important you know. Everybody's helping everybody here. And let's be clear on that. When you do that registration, it brings you to this page. So you see what is called CopyX. CopyX is about the Forex trading platform Tag Market, which is a regulated broker. You do a registration there, and all I've been explaining with the AI and all that, that's where it happens. But there are other parts of this financial market, like the cryptocurrency. So they've put together an exchange, also licensed exchange, where you can trade sports, where you can trade futures. These are for people who understand it. Now, for the people who don't understand, this ecosystem have gone to take over 100% exclusive right of the foremost AI in crypto trading industry, which has created massive results. There are people on this call tonight who have made profit from that particular AI for more than 60 months. That's more than 5 years. So when you want to ask me how long this is going to last, think again. We're not taking baby fresh ideas. We're taking industry best and then bringing it through in the innovation to make it available for the average person. So why should you get excited and get ready for the AI coming on this crypto platform? It's because that AI has delivered consistent results for more than 5 years. But the only reason why most people didn't have access to it is that it will cost you $125,000 to have access to it for a year. So when you hear that price tag, you leave. Of course, you still require another 500,000 as a trading balance and trade. But that AI is about to be onboarded on this platform absolutely for the premium price of free. And people have the opportunity not just to get started, Forex, but to position and be ready to be able to use that AI once it goes live. Of course, we'll have the next level, which is the BX card. BX card is going to work with decentralized wallet. So you can withdraw money from your Forex platform, you can withdraw money from the crypto platform and go straight into the card and use. In the last leadership meeting, we were told that before the end of the year, that platform will evolve to give people opportunity to have IBAN numbers, offshore IBAN numbers, where you can interact more and have more financial product all in one ecosystem, where your resources, your wealth are all built using the modern technology of artificial intelligence. So it's pretty simple, guys. ensure in your own best interest that you get back to the person who invited you to this presentation this night. Because if you think about it, I suggest to that person to send you the screenshot of the first trade that will happen before 9 a.m. tomorrow, unless there's not going to be a trade. You do that registration, activate that account with whatever you can tonight. For those here in Nigeria, you can do it instantly with Naira even. Make that decision. Whether you're afraid, make it at afraid level. If you have belief, make it at belief level. But that is important so that by tomorrow, what I shared with you in the last couple of 40 minutes will not be story. You will experience it. And as an adult at that point, you will make a decision that you'll be responsible for, that will be based on what you think that serves you best. So I hope that this is clear enough and that the suggestions I make, if it makes sense to you, kindly take them. I can assure you it will serve you. And then in 1 week time, make a withdrawal and see whether this thing is really so. Allow it another 30 days and get the whole picture of this and engage as much as possible, looking at how this can provide opportunity for you to have enough cash flow expenses. So thank you so much, everybody, for your time. I will hand over to Mr. Felix.
All right, thank you very much. This is amazing. I'm sure we love what we've just listened to. If you love what you just heard right now, just type, just keep us out. I love emoji on the chat box or fire it on the screen. You love what you have just listened to just now. Put a love emoji on the chat.